I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode 248, Ignorance versus Naivety. If your husband is struggling with a pornography problem and you want some help with it and you are not finding the resources that you like, you are in the right place. My name is Jolene Wynn. I am a certified life coach. I am an active member of the LDS faith, and I am the wife of a former porn addict. And on this podcast, I am going to share with you the tools that you need in order to start your healing journey. This is where I'm going to show you how to dive deep into intentional living, how to rekindle connection with your spouse, how to manage all that emotional turmoil that you're feeling, how to break the addiction cycle that you have to your husband's addiction, and tell you all of the ways to do that and start healing. I am so glad that you're here, and I can't wait to get started. Let's go. All right, good morning, my ladies. How are you? I am so excited to be talking to you guys today, and I'm really excited. This week is a big week. This is the first week of my couples course. So for those of you guys who don't know, I launched a couples course called Porn Free Marriage, and it is a 6-week course for couples and teaching you not only how to heal from the pornography effects that have already been in your marriage, but also teaching you the tools, how to communicate about it, how to forgive, how to rebuild trust, all of that. And also teach you how to go on offense and to immunize your marriage against pornography in the future so that you can actually have a porn-free marriage. And I'm very excited about that. This is the first week. So we have our first call this week, our group coaching call. I'm so excited about it. And I'm thrilled. So if you guys, I'm going to put a link down below where you guys can get on the wait list. For those of you guys who missed this cohort, it's not a problem. You can get on the wait list so that if you are interested when we run it again, you will be the first to know. And I was also just finishing up a client. I just had a one-on-one with a client. And I want to encourage you, any of you guys who haven't done coaching yet with me, to come work with me one-on-one. That is something that I have available right now, and I haven't done this in years, and it is something that I am so thrilled to be offering again. It is in conjunction with the group. So you can join my group program. We have calls twice a week, and you get all the group coaching with that, all the access to all my master classes, my online portal, and it's just $167 a month. It's an annual membership, but then you can also have the opportunity to add one-on-one coaching. And with that, we actually do an hour, we do a 60-minute session every single week of just you and I working through everything together. And it's so fun. I just had a one-on-one. We just got off a call, and she's actually been a client for, a year and a half. She's been in the group. And then in January, she decided, you know what, there's a couple of things that I really want to focus on. I want to nail in. I'm feeling a little stuck. I want more one-on-one help. She signed up for one-on-one. We've been one-on-one coaching for 7 weeks now, and she was just telling me that she has made more progress since January than she did in all of her years of therapy. She said she did a specialized therapy, she did EMDR therapy for over a year, and she felt like she never made any progress, and that she has made more progress since January of this year than she had in over a year of therapy. And if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like what you're doing isn't working, then I want to highly encourage you to come sign up for one-on-one coaching. I do have some spots that are open and available. I will put the link in the show notes so that you can not only join the group program, but you can also sign up for one-on-one with that. You do them together, and I highly encourage you. You have to do them together. Okay, you can't sign up for one-on-one unless you're also in the group. And there's a reason why. It's because the group is so powerful. Sometimes we get so in our heads about what we're going through that we have a hard time taking in coaching, which is why group coaching is so powerful. Sometimes when you're listening to someone else get coached, because it's not you, you're actually able to take in more of it and see more of what it is they're struggling with, apply it to yourself and learn from it, because you're not so in it emotionally. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'll put all the links in there so you guys can check it out, but come join it. It is more affordable now than it ever has been before, and I want to highly encourage you to start taking action, because it's not what you go through that defines you. It's how you approach it, what you do, what you make yourself from it that really defines you. So you are not just the porn addict's wife. You are way more than that. And if you want to learn how to take everything and apply it and really have this be something that transforms you into the version of you who you want to be, then let's go. Okay, today I actually want to talk to you guys about ignorance versus naivety. This is something that comes up a ton if you've ever had the thought of something along the lines of, okay, well, I don't want to trust my husband again, or I'm feeling a lot of distrust. I'm struggling trusting my husband again because I don't want to trust him and then find out later that I was wrong, right? That he was lying, because then I'll feel really naive. And there's a difference between ignorance and naivety. First of all, both are just feelings. We can just feel both, okay? We can feel ignorant, we can feel stupid, we can feel naive, okay? It doesn't mean that that's who you are. So I want to separate that first of all, because sometimes one of our biggest mistakes is that we take an emotion and we apply it to our identity. We say, okay, well, I am naive, rather than just I feel naive. And you're taking it on as part of who you are, which is a much harder thing to break up. So I want to offer that you start noticing if that's how you're talking to yourself. I'm stupid. I'm naive. I'm a doormat. Okay? All of those phrases that we use are just feelings that then you are applying to yourself as an identity, and that's not something that's helpful for you. It's going to be much harder to process that emotion and let it go because we're holding on to it as part of who we are. It's part of the story that we tell. And I want to offer that we can let that go and start separating that. Okay? So the other thing that I want to offer is that there's a difference between ignorance and naivety. Ignorance is when you don't know something. You don't have the knowledge of it. If you are ignorant of something, it means you don't know it. Okay? I'm ignorant in so many things. Okay? Really, really smart, really knowledgeable about so many things, really ignorant in a lot of things. Okay? So, totally fine. Very different than naive. Naive is when you know something and choosing to ignore it on purpose so that you don't have to face it. And that's what we're afraid of. We are afraid that if we know something is going to happen, or we know that it has the potential to happen, and we're choosing to trust anyway, that means we're naive. And that's not what it means, okay? When you have a spouse who's struggling with pornography, and they're telling you that they're fine and that they're clean and that they're not struggling, if you choose to believe them, that is not naive. That is brave. Okay, naive would be saying, "Oh, he's not struggling with this. It's pretending like you don't know. It's pretending like you don't know about it. It's just ignoring it and then burying your head in the sand." Okay? That's what naive is. Instead, I want to offer that you instead allow yourself the possibility to choose to trust on purpose. And I've done so many podcast episodes on trust, conscious trust. I have a master class on how to trust. Come take it and I will show it to you, okay? Trusting and saying, I know that you could hurt me and I'm choosing to trust you anyway, is brave. It's not naive, because you're not burying your head in the sand. You're not pretending like it couldn't happen. You know exactly that it could happen, okay? So today I want to differentiate really when we think about our past. This came up with me on a client just a few weeks ago. She was saying how in the past she was naive to trust her husband, but she didn't actually know that pornography was something he was indulging in. She had no idea that that was part of their marriage or part of what he was doing, and she trusted him in believing that it wasn't, okay? And it wasn't until later that she found out that it was, and she said that she was naive. That's not naive. It's actually ignorance. She had no idea what was happening. She was 100% ignorant to what he was doing on his own time, okay? Again, naive is when you're sitting there and you know it's happening and you're pretending like you don't, pretending like it's not happening, and you bury your head in the sand. Ignorance is when you're just unaware, when you don't have any knowledge of it. My husband was addicted to pornography for years, and I was ignorant of it. Did I feel stupid when I found out? Totally. But again, this is why it's so important to make a distinction between a feeling that you feel and who you are. It didn't mean that I was stupid. It meant I just felt stupid. I know, because I had these subconscious thoughts like, I should have known about this. I should have seen this coming. I should have seen signs. I should have whatever, okay? But as I've worked through this, I've actually realized that I would rather be trustfully ignorant than always suspect my husband of the worst possible behavior. Okay? And there have been times in our marriage where I did suspect him of his worst possible behavior. There have been so many times in our marriage where I did not trust him, and I chose that on purpose. But I also then chose to change that because I didn't want to constantly be expecting him at his worst. Okay? And that's what I want to offer to you today. So many of you are so afraid of trusting, of moving forward, of letting go of your pain because you make it mean that then you are being naive. And it's not true. When you choose to trust consciously, when you choose to move forward on purpose, that's not naive, it's brave. And if in the past you didn't know about anything that was happening, it doesn't mean that you were naive back then either. It means that you were ignorant, you were unaware, you had no knowledge of it. And you need to offer yourself, I want to offer that you have a lot more compassion and grace for your past self that didn't know. And then also have more grace and compassion for yourself as you move forward. You don't need to keep anxiety with you in order to prevent you from feeling a certain emotion in the future. Okay? Feeling anxious and distrustful now won't make it hurt any less if he actually relapses and lies about it and you find that out later. Okay? It's still gonna hurt. You can't feel your feelings in advance. I can't sit here now and make the pain tomorrow any worse if he's been lying to me. Okay? And am I willing to say, I feel a little stupid, I feel a little ridiculous, whatever it is? And in fact, I found that the more consciously I choose to trust, the more I step out and in bravery, which is what conscious trust really is very, very brave. Even if I find out that I'm wrong later, even if I find out that my husband has lied to me later, I don't make that mean that I'm stupid. I make that mean something about, that's all on him. He can choose his own decisions, and that means something about him to himself. For me, I'm proud of how I showed up because I want to be a wife that trusts her husband. I want to be a wife who chooses to believe in the best of him, to believe in the best of his potential, to believe that he is capable of telling me the truth and believing that that's what he's doing, because that's how I want to show up. And again, that has not always been my choice. Sometimes I have chosen not to trust him, but even that is very brave. To choose on purpose not to trust and not make it mean that I'm naive or ignorant or stupid. So today I want to offer that if you have a story of the past, especially where you think, okay, well, I was really naive in the past to believe this and I don't want to do that again, I want to offer that you're probably using that term incorrectly. Use a different one. Maybe you weren't naive. Instead, you are probably very trustingly ignorant. And I think that that's a beautiful thing to be in a marriage. Can you imagine if you had just been naive? Naive would have been that you knew all about it and you were just pretending that you didn't, hoping that it would go away. That's naive. And if you were there, it's also totally fine. Because of course, sometimes naive is something that we want to be because we don't know how to deal with it. And that all that means is that you didn't have the skills that you do know now in order to how to face it. Okay, so it was easier to bury your head in the sand, at least at the time, because you didn't know anything else. So again, have more compassion for yourself in how you treated it. But now you know differently. And I know that because you're listening to this podcast. Okay, you have different skills, you have different knowledge. You are no longer ignorant. And now you can decide what to do with it moving forward. Okay? Everything that I ever teach you on this podcast is all about, yes, the past happened. Everything up until this moment has already happened. What are we going to do about it now? What do you want to do next? How are you going to face it? And it's in how you face it and how you move forward from it that defines you. Okay? Ladies, you are amazing, wonderful, and brave. And I want to offer to you that you face this head on because it's not going anywhere. Your relationships are the things in your life that aren't going anywhere. Everything else is going to fluctuate. And if you want to work on the things that really matter to you and are valuable, then do this first. Work on this. Make this your priority. Buckle down. Put your head down and work on this. Work on yourself. Heal yourself. And that'll be a ripple effect that you can be proud of in your life. All right, ladies? I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys next week on a brand new episode, so take care. All right, my lady, if you love what you're hearing on the podcast and you're ready to take it and apply it in your life to see a true transformation, then I want to invite you to come join my coaching program. Now is the best time because I have just added an annual membership, so you can join for the lowest price ever. Get all the details on my website, jolenewind.com, and don't forget to sign up for a free consultation call with me today. We'll get on the call, we'll talk about where you are, what you're struggling with, and then we'll see what is the right fit for you and your budget. Again, go to my website, jolenewind.com, sign up for a call, and I'll see you there.